Hey everybody, to whoever's out there actually watching, I'm going to be broadcasting this for a little bit because they finally added some new episodes. I haven't played for a while because honestly I needed something new to do, so I decided to wait until the time was right. And there you go, time is right. Now, let us depart to the Delta Quadrant. I don't know what to expect in these new episodes, but let's see what we can do. Transwarp. Let's see. Facebook to the Ant-Man Fijanova shared a link space-time.
What did my mom ask you? What did my mom ask you?
About coffee.
Hey, when you stopped eating in the Zoom, my dad's getting kind of mad.
There's no point in this table then. That's what we bought the table for. That's the thing. Huh?
Not to do it every single day. He's saying that we're doing this every day.
No, we're not doing it every day. Sometimes it's just.
You hear about the eating? Take it easy eating in your room.
Well, we have the tables.
I know, roaches are coming on tables too. It's not the where you put it, is they smell it, and that's where they come to.
No, we'll be very careful.
But anybody knows, your room should know about roaches, so stop.
I know, we're very careful. When do you want to clean the room?
YouTube large circle space time. That's an excuse so I can come back in here. So that's why I want my microphone on.
I'm gonna go eat out there, and when I'm done, if you want, we'll clean the room, right?
I just want to play this for now.
No, I understand my dad. He just doesn't want to. He's trying to be cool like he was, you know.
I know.
But sometimes I wonder what you think when he says things. Alright. Later, I need you to put the muscle rub on my shoulder again because it really hurts.
Facebook Lorenzo Palacios updated his status.
That's my phone?
Yes.
Whoa.
The fact that when these characters don't talk is kind of makes it hard because the thing is, I don't exactly have time to be able to read all that, so it gets interesting. I mean, where it gets more difficult. So then, what exactly are they asking me to do? Oh, okay. That makes sense. Now. No. Wrong one. No. Damn it.
Facebook MJ Horaz Kulan shared Patty Mayonnaise's post.
Damn it. Okay. This is not obviously not working. So let's see. Where am I supposed to go then?
Facebook MJ Horaz Kulan shared America with Jorge Ramos's post.
Nope, that wasn't it. I don't know. Maybe if I check the map. Okay, now I see what's going on. Okay, I'm just gonna have to do something else.
Some time ago, there was a temporal disruption involving the USS Enterprise C. We thought the matter was fully resolved, but there was an oversight. We need to find one of the Enterprise C survivors, a temporal duplicate of Starfleet Admiral Tanay. Until we reconcile her displacement, the timeline is in jeopardy. There's one person in particular that can provide the location of the survivors, Sela of Romulus. We believe she's operating in the Cytor system. Meet me there to search for Sela and enlist her aid. Stay safe out there. Gotta love transwarping. Excusez-moi. If she's here, we'll need to draw her out. Sela's not easily found if she doesn't want to be. In the meantime, there's a structure on one of the larger asteroids, but the mineral content there is making long-range scanning difficult. I recommend we take a closer look. Looks like a small base of some kind. Industrial, possibly military. Whatever it is, it's running at low power. We'll get a better idea at close range. Our intel shows a lot of Romulan activity in this system, in Sela's name. Command believes she's planning an assault of some kind and gathering tactical resources.
Hola, mama. What?
He's saying that when Janelle comes, he wants to go back to Florida.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because he's saying that he hates North Carolina.
This looks like an abandoned Tal Shiar base, or what's left of one. It looks like the interior has been stripped of anything useful over an extended period of time. This could be the work of Seela's forces. They've been... Wait! Picking up enemy contacts. Romulan ships decloaking. Romulans are going under cloak. They're disengaging. Those ships were old, but battle-ready, in good repair. It's unusual for them to run so quickly. We should stay sharp. Those ships were older, but battle-ready and in good repair. It's unusual of them to run so quickly. We should stay sharp. There's probably more of them out there waiting under cloak. In the meantime, we damage their propulsion systems in the fight. They're leaking plasma.
That to look at the eclipse on the TV and to close the windows too. So you don't get blind. Yeah, like I was trying to tell you. You know, my dad saying that he wants to call when you're not comes back, because you know.
As long as they keep leaking plasma, we can follow their trail. They're not trying to lose us. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, that's a pretty ship. Too bad it ain't real. You have this on mute?
Yes. Because every time I've done something when it comes to,
You can put the volume a little bit up?
no. Every time I've done any broadcasting, they keep trying to copyright me.
Oh, you're broadcasting?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Don't worry, you have the words. I can just read it.
It's one thing I like about closed captioning that helps me out.
Yeah. That's a pretty horse.
Unidentified ship, you are trespassing in sovereign Romulan space, and you are outnumbered. Surrender now. Oh, it's you again. No. You are still trespassing in my space, and I could use a new ship for my armada.
Demolition HD, Netflix, and more.
What?
Fine, we'll talk. Cut to the chase and tell me what it is you want. Ah, I'd wondered when you'd get around to looking for the Enterprise C survivors.
Yeah, like you said, she orders from here a lot.
When the Enterprise C survivors were taken, my father agreed to let the rest of the crew live, so long as Lieutenant Yar served as his concubine. She was executed, but my father held to his word. I am aware of their location, but I will only take you there if you agree to bring me with you. And what assurances do I have that I won't simply be executed? I will not agree to my death. If I agree to this, I will be held in house arrest, somewhere reasonably pleasant by my own standards. I will not be cut off from access to the outside world, and I will not be given any sort of death penalty. Further, you will allow my crew and their ships to go without harassment.
The survivors of the Enterprise C were sent to a Tal Shiar prison world. Set a course for the Pictet system. I shall make my way to the bridge of this quaint little ship.
I'm reading several Tholian ships on sensors, along with some unusual temporal fluctuations. Tholians dislike anything involving time travel. We should be cautious. If they think we're responsible, they may become hostile.
This is the Pictet system, one of many worlds where the Tal Shiar would send assets important enough to keep, but not threatening enough to kill. Supplies to this world stopped when Hobus was destroyed. But the Enterprise C crew are proven survivors. I admit the Tholians being here is new. Surely they won't be too difficult for you to handle.
Do not intrude. The anomaly will be eradicated. Leave now.
That anomaly is devastating our hull. Avoid flying into it if possible. sign.
The anomaly will be purged, as will you. Vengeance for the fallen.
Alright, here we go.
Another temporal anomaly. It was emitting high levels of tachyon radiation and chronotons before it dispersed. I'll need more data, but I think it was an unstable gateway into transdimensional space.
Scan one. I want to see what they were so interested in.
Based on these readings, I believe I've found an origin point for these anomalies. They're coming from the planet below. I suggest sending an away team down to collect data. I am detecting signs of habitation, but there's a lot of temporal disturbances down there. They're making it hard to obtain a clear reading at this distance.
Assemble your most able crewmen and... My apologies. This is your ship. You give the orders.
beamed down into an open courtyard within what's left of the Tal Shiar prison. Doesn't look like it's been inhabited for some time. I'm reading a number of temporal anomalies nearby, but my tricorder's having trouble analyzing the data. We're going to need to get closer.
The shipments of supplies stopped long ago. Anyone alive down here will have a hard time. I suppose that's too bad for Admiral Tanay. That is what this is about, isn't it? There are two of her and no one else. If you find her, I doubt she will be alive. This world was abandoned by the Tal Shiar decades ago. I doubt there's anyone left. The survivors of the Enterprise C might have left personal items behind.
This datapad dates back to the late 23rd century. It lacks power, but it should work once it's recharged. This place hasn't been inhabited for a while. Thing is, the tricorder's giving a range of time from 3 months to 30 years. We're dealing with some serious temporal flux here. That's one of the temporal anomalies. I wouldn't recommend entering its area of effect. From what I'm reading here, contact with the anomaly will do considerable damage to anything organic. That being said, I believe we can deal with this. Stand over there, and between the two of us, we should be able to nullify the anomaly.
Okay, go. Let me see them. You're always crying, Eric. You wanted one so much? Oh, that's awesome.
Someone's been here recently. The tricorder's picking up numerous signs of habitation in the area. By the look of things, someone stripped this area of all useful items and moved on. This gate appears to have been locked from the outside. Perhaps they knew about the anomaly but didn't have the means to handle it. Ah, there's a manual override over there near our beam-down site. We can use it to open the gates. When we disrupted this anomaly, it seemed to fracture, forcing more anomalies into our timeline. I think we might be able to use that to our benefit, though. I'll stay here and act as an anchor. Find the best spot and use your tricorder to emit the dispersal pattern again. We should be able to push those bubbles away from the gate controls. If you get stuck, I'll be able to get you out of trouble. The gate controls are trapped within an anomaly. We'll have to disperse it to use them. Looks like some of the closed gateways are rusted now. Find another spot. I think I can see a clear path to the controls. The gate's open. Try to disperse where you are. It should open an escape path for you. Excellent. The gate's open, and we can continue our search for Tanae. Well done. Before we move on, I've managed to bring the datapad online again. It might contain clues on what happened. Looks like it's a personal unit. The primary user is Lieutenant Tasha Yar of Starfleet.
Give me that! The first entry dates to 2389, nearly 40 years after she was executed. Or at least 40 years after she was supposed to have been executed.
I am Natasha Yar, Security Chief for the Federation Starship Enterprise D. Well, at least that's who I was. For the past 40 years, I've been Tal Shiar Prisoner 24601. But even that changed a week ago. Our regular supply drops from the Star Empire stopped 3 months ago. The guards started caring too much about what might be going on elsewhere in the Quadrant and caring too little about their prisoners. We were able to overpower them. We've managed to recover some data pads like this one, but there isn't enough here for us to call for help or escape. I'm leaving this record in case anyone comes looking for us. Sela, if you find this, I still love you. I've missed you.
Lieutenant Yar was supposed to have been executed. My father said it happened. There were witnesses. How can... Clearly, there was some judicious alteration of history. The Enterprise C survivors were here, but something drove them away. Something more than the loss of supplies. We should continue looking for the survivors. Your duplicate of Tanae may yet be alive on this rock. It would not have been the first time. No doubt he thought she might still have been useful in some way. I can see the pity in your eyes. Keep it. His decision allowed me to become the person I am. I do not regret that.
Look! There's a path ahead! This anomaly looks more stable than the others. It's probably less deadly, but let's not find out now.
The generators died and no one knows why. Richard thinks it might have been the big predators. Tanae thinks she might be able to salvage some of the parts. I hope she can. She's been glaring over the remains for the last 3 hours. 2 more dead.
animals know the fence won't harm them anymore. I rigged an early warning system using a trick I learned growing up on Turkana 4, but that won't stop them. We took a vote, and we're moving. We'll build a new settlement in the old secondary supply bunker the Tal Shiar abandoned 20 years ago. The surviving guard has agreed to guide us there. Loyalty to the Tal Shiar fades when you've been stranded with the inmates. Lieutenant Yar never discussed Turkana 4. When I was older, I discovered why. She was a survivor. It is clear that her arrangement with my father was just that. Obviously, she continued that trait into her existence here. There's more ground to cover.
There's another unstable anomaly. The anomaly has left some of the rock in a molten state.
You took readings in orbit. Surely we should continue looking. Clearly, these anomalies must be connected to your mission. Now, while you take a leisurely stroll through the jungle, I will be moving on. It appears that there are more survivors than initially believed.
There's a lot of interference, but I think I'm picking up a life sign. Tanae!
Go away! Leave this place! No! No! Please, not again! Stay away!
You know what the hell she got?
Stay away!
Who is that, Nelly?
Yeah.
No clue. Didn't tell me from there.
It seems your duplicate, Tanae, is still alive, and she isn't pleased to see you. I don't really blame her. I wasn't exactly thrilled to see you again, either.
She's run off, but there's an even larger anomaly close by.
It looks like it was a structure at one point, but
Another
I doubt any
temporal anomaly,
survivors
and
would
this one
remain
is
in a
larger than the
ruin
last.
like this.
There are temporal eddies moving through the area, and a few stable locations between them. Now, if you establish temporal stabilizers in these 3 locations, we can disperse the anomaly and get a better look at the area. Hopefully, the Enterprise C survivors were able to escape the area before this happened.
Yeah, and every time Lisani comes, she keeps telling me something and I feel bad. Like I don't think she means it, but like, I wear this shirt a lot, right? She's like, you must love that shirt because you wear it a lot.
You wear it much. You like it. I like my shirt.
It's because I don't barely have any clothes to wear. And all the clothes,
to go. I'm not trying to give you $100.
the only place I would know to go is Ross.
There's a stable pocket ahead of you. Set up the first stabilizer there. That's the first stabilizer. 2 more to go.
What?
Incredible! Dispersing the anomaly restored more than I expected. We should look for clues.
entire grove of saplings. Richard swears the same area was full of towering trees last week. He might be mistaken. We're both getting older. I thought I saw a Romulan in the brush. He was wearing a 22nd century style uniform. When I looked again, he was gone. Maybe I'm going senile. Richard insists I'm too young. Maybe it's because the outside world has been on my mind. Seela has been on my mind. I wonder what happened to her. While her father was a Tal Shiar general, he spared my life in the end. Perhaps he wasn't petty and cruel to her. I hope he wasn't. If you should find this, happy 50th birthday, Seela. I have missed you. I only regret we were separated. Shelter ruined, last tricorder gone, half our stores destroyed, 5 dead. The hunters and gatherers returned to find many dead and unconscious. I used my emergency medic training, but I was a security officer, not a doctor. Devek might not make it. None of them can remember what happened. Without the tricorder, we can't scan the area, or for internal injuries. I suspect that there is something on the planet causing anomalies of some kind. Tanae has not reacted well. She's been talking to herself and keeping apart from everyone. A problem for later. Survival now.
Some sort of temporal inversion happened here. Some of the rock returned to an earlier molten state, while some of the building materials aged over 200 years. Anyone standing close to these objects would have been affected as well, regressed to infancy, or aged to the grave.
Well, I suppose it was nice that Yar thought of me, but that doesn't change the fact that she was going to steal me away like a thief in the night. If she had truly cared, she would have stayed where she was. My father was not cruel or petty, at least not to me. He was hard because he needed to be. I thrived because of it. The Enterprise C survivors were surprisingly resilient. Tasha's notes are more sparse but seem to record a productive, if primitive, community. They mention a secondary site close by. If your Vulcan survived, there may be others, and they may be close.
Over here! There's a path with recent footprints. I'm reading another anomaly, further down the path. Tanae might be there.
The Tanae anomaly and its allies must be purged.
That Tholian away team must have beamed down to investigate the anomalies. This looks to be a well-worn path. Some recent footprints here, heading the other way. They might have run into Tholians.
It seems your Vulcan passed this way recently. Perhaps the cavern mentioned Natasha's logs is nearby. We should follow the tracks. It seems many of the refugees would be alive if it weren't for the anomalies. I wonder how many are left now.
I'm detecting signs of recent habitation in this location.
Maybe we'll find more answers.
This was some sort of dwelling up until a few months ago. If I'm reading this right, there was an explosion of tetrion particles here. A fatal one, judging by the organic residue on the walls. No one's been living here since, according to these tricorder readings.
The anomalies are temporal in origin. I watched Richard wither and die before my eyes. An anomaly appeared, and moments later, he aged 100 years. We buried him this morning in the clearing. I never expected he and I would end this way. I miss him. Richard was a wonderful partner for these last decades, a good man. We built a wonderful life despite it all. My only regret is that Sela never got to know how kind and brave Richard was. He'd have been such a wonderful stepfather. Tanae hasn't been seen in days. I'm worried she won't come back. I'm worried she will. I thought her strange behavior might be a degenerative Vulcan sickness, but she was answering questions before they were asked, and she's been close to every anomaly that's happened. Maybe I'm jumping in shadows. The part of me that is still a security officer on the Enterprise doesn't think I am, though.
This is Tanae. I have agreed to report the final words of Natasha Yar and to hold this log for the future. If there is one. If it isn't here already, What? No. Focus. Natasha Yar died of a fever. She wished for the story of the crew of the Enterprise C to be remembered. They were brave beyond expectation. She wished for her daughter to know that she was loved and that Natasha lived a long and happy life. But Natasha missed her, and she hoped her daughter's life was wonderful. Natasha requests that if this log is found, that this record be conveyed to Sela of Romulus and to the Federation. Do not come near me. End log.
I think I see movement in the bushes. Tanae?
Stop following me! No. Go away! I told you to stay away! I am dangerous. You should not be here. No one can be here. No! Not again! Oh! No! Not again!
There's a new anomaly forming.
Tholians!
Purge the anomaly. Purge the contaminated.
Tanae, the anomalies that have been occurring were caused by decades of temporal interference. Because of what happened with the Enterprise C, you exist in two places at once. We can fix this. You and your counterpart can be reintegrated. Your memories will be integrated as well, but the anomalies will stop.
I see the logic in your presence here. I am anomalous. My presence here must be sufficiently reconciled to preserve the order of things. I presume you are here to accomplish this. Thus, I will go with you.
All this time, she was here. I believed she was dead. Tasha believed I might come looking for her. She believed it so strongly she left logs in case. Tanae held her logs for her. And now, she is truly dead. This place has led to some interesting revelations, shall we say? I think it best we leave before more Tholians show up.
Looks like we beamed up just in time. Several Tholian ships are on an attack vector.
We will keep one cable going. We will repair time.
Something is happening. It's happening again. Another anomaly is forming. I see you found my displaced temporal counterpart. Well done. An operations team is standing by on this vessel to assist with her temporal reintegration. Please beam her aboard, and we will begin the process. It is possible that I may acquire a new set of memories as part of the process. A small price to pay to stabilize the timeline. As it has been said, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. I see. Having read the briefing from Starfleet Command, I find her presence here to be most logical, considering the situation. Very well. I will take custody of Sela and deliver her to a secure facility once the reintegration procedure is complete. Beam her aboard with my temporal counterpart.
It seems our journey is at a parting of the ways once more. I did, and I will. But I have a condition to my surrender. Tell me about my mother.
Hello?
The timeline is stabilizing. Anomaly counts are dropping, and our agents are reporting a decline in temporal aftershocks due to recent events. That's a good thing, by the way. The aftershocks of our recent discoveries on Pictet may take some time for Sela to resolve, however. I hope she's able to find a sense of peace and closure from what she's learned today. I'll be heading back to Temporal Command once we've fully integrated the two Tenays. Be seeing you.
While searching for signs of weaponized protomatter, one of our long-distance research probes made a most curious discovery. It found a Class M planet at the heart of the Gonkra Nebula. That's not the most exciting news, however. The probe detected the presence of sentient life on the planet. The biosigns were very similar to our own. It is possible that we have discovered a lost tribe of Lukari. We're going to investigate, and we'd like some backup. The probe went offline rather suddenly after detecting the planet. These people might not be very friendly.
100%.
I'm reading a group of starships out there. They're armed, shielded, and combat capable. Let's hope they're not hostile as well. As the ranking officer here, I believe you should be the first to initiate contact. Perhaps they might respond more favorably to a familiar face. May I open a channel? Unidentified vessels. This is Captain Kumar K. of the LSS Reskava. I extend cordial greetings in the interest of establishing peaceful contact between us. I'm not certain. Wait, they're locking weapons. I don't understand. The Reskava did nothing to provoke this attack.
Alien vessels. This is Prime Minister Tulaman of the Kantari Union. I've ordered our forces to cease hostilities and ask you to do the same. There's been a grave misunderstanding. It is customary for us to discuss such grievances in person. Will you accept my invitation to parley?
The Kantari. They survived. Somehow they managed to survive the devastation of Kentar and make it here. Incredible. Historically, Kantari were quick to distrust and attack. It would seem that hasn't changed. We should be cautious. Despite that, I am ready to transport when you are. ancient sacred trees of Lucar. The Kentari destroyed one world with their toxic ways, and it seems they're well on their way to destroy another. Unbelievable. This Prime Minister has much to answer for. Where is she, by the way? And why are we meeting on the street? That Kentari on the street looks quite ill.
Yeah, my mom was even saying that. Tell Anthony not to look straight at the eclipse.
I'm well aware of
Really
how
high
it
levels
works.
of toxic chemical emissions
Huh?
in the
He
area.
was saying that maybe some people will be stupid enough to actually do it, and the doctor's office will be packed with people that have disability or whatever. The doctor's office will be packed on Wednesday saying, "Hey, I looked at the eclipse and now I'm blind." Thank God David's in a building.
They still use unregulated exhaust systems?
Okay, let me know
Unbelievable.
when you want to start doing the bed at least.
How peculiar. The doors here have built-in filtration systems. What's that machine off to the side? Some sort of miniature store? It's full of breathing aids. People poison the air here and charge others to withstand it. Does that look off to you? I've never seen this level of suffering. Oh, they pile the refuse in the streets. It's barbaric. There are still heat signatures on this junk. It was placed here recently.
Kill the Lucari and her alien lackeys!
I see hatred for Lucari still burns in the hearts of some Kentari, along with violent xenophobia. Hopefully their leadership is of a more diplomatic nature.
The lunar colony is providing just enough food to support the Kentari population at current consumption levels. The government has launched a new farm labor program aimed at increasing food production and adding new jobs. The program is expected to launch prior to the beginning of the next crop cycle on the colony. The structural integrity of several housing blocks has been called into question by independent analysts.
The Capitol building is a short distance from here. Even here, the poor huddled in misery. What? Another attack?
You shouldn't have come here, Lucari. Now you're gonna die!
Is that the last of them? Let's go inside. The Centauri have some explaining to do. Well, this place is a far cry from the smog and squalor we just left, isn't it?
Dale, how much blinder can I already get?
Welcome to New Kentar. I must apologize for the unfortunate incident that had taken
Did I
place.
tell you how much I
You have
weigh?
arrived during a period of social unrest for our
I was
people.
200 before. Now I weigh 190.
I'm afraid so. The decline of our world has split the Kentari into two factions. The reformists, like myself, who wish to gradually change our way of life for the better. And the traditionalists, who cling tightly to the old ways and all of the destruction that comes with them. The Kentari who attacked you were traditionalist soldiers. They see you, and especially the Lucari, as a threat to their existence.
It's simple. Your kind are well-armed aliens from an advanced culture. To the Trads, you're hostile invaders. And the Lucari? Dangerous anarchists from our distant past, long thought exiled, now returned. And more dangerous than ever. The troubling part is they may be right about all of you.
Minister Pentaro is in charge of planetary security. It's his job to evaluate all potential threats, foreign and domestic. The idea of working with aliens, with Lucari, will be controversial. That said, our situation is deteriorating. I'm willing to open a dialogue with outside parties.
Such a dialogue will be monitored, however, in the interest of planetary security.
Your suspicion is misplaced, Minister. We had nothing to do with all this.
You're not wrong, Captain. And we realize the need to do something about it. The privileged few are safe above the pollution, but they live on borrowed time. Ecosystems across the planet are failing. We can no longer afford to...
Prime Minister, do you think it's prudent to discuss such matters with these outsiders? Curious. One band of aliens arrives with words of peace, while another arrives bearing the swords of war. How convenient. Coincidence? Or a cunning ruse to weaken our defenses and lower our guard?
I believe you. Our moon is home to our agricultural sites and thousands of Kentari workers. Your help protecting it will be welcomed by my government. The sooner you can begin, the better.
Saving their ships might build some trust with the Kentari.
Fight well. We're glad you're
Fight on! For the Union! For the Kentari!
I'm reading concentrations of the crystals targeted by the Zenkethi on the Kentari moon, along with numerous Zenkethi life signs and several protomatter signals. We'd better hurry. They may be preparing to detonate more bombs.
Get to the moon and stop those bombs, now! I hope your people know how to deal with these bombs, Lucari. If this is some kind of trick, you won't live to regret it.
increase power for weapons! Hit it with everything you've got!
We detected some sort of intense energy detonation on the moon. We're reading 0 life signs there. No one. They're all gone. What did they do to us? What has happened?
All is not lost, Minister. While we can't bring back the Kentari who were killed, we can help you restore your moon's food production capabilities in short order.
A likely story. For all we know, this is the precursor to invasion. These aliens have destroyed our food and weakened our military, Prime Minister. They mean to conquer us.
Calm yourself, Pentaro, and remember who is Prime Minister here. Captain Kumarke, I accept your proposal, provided there's full oversight from the Ministry of Defense at every stage of the operation. You'll understand our need for such security measures, I'm sure.
I won't let you down, Prime Minister. Have your observation team meet mine on the moon at these coordinates. We'll begin as soon as we're able. Are in place. The matrix is stable and primed for effect. Let me know when you want me to initiate the restoration procedure. Protomatter matrix is stable. We're ready to begin. Initiating primary restoration sequence now. Something is wrong. Everything just stopped. Why? I don't understand. I checked the settings myself. That moon should be covered with crops by now. I could use some assistance down there. Please join me at the worksite. All right, let's begin by configuring the flow regulators at each of the transmission arrays. I'll observe the flow rates while you make the adjustments. curious. Someone made adjustments to the transmitters that could cause a detonation similar to a protomatter bomb. But whoever did it wasn't familiar with Lucari tech. We have safeguards to prevent such a thing, so instead of blowing up, it just didn't work. I hate to say it, but I believe one of the Kentari observers made those adjustments.
I'm far from defenseless, Kentari! I'm far from defenseless, Kentari! I'm taking fire here! Help! I could use some assistance. They just don't know when to quit, do they? Taking fire here! Help! Automatic secured. We're safe.
Those were traditionalists. I suspect one of their operatives was behind the sabotage here as well. I've locked out access to everyone but you and me. We can make things right without any interference once we return to our ships. All systems are online. We're ready to go. Initiating restoration process now.
Protomatter matrix deployed. Everything's in the green. We did it!
It worked. Our sensors are showing a stable protomatter matrix in the formation of crops at all production sites. We owe you a profound debt of gratitude. Thank you. Their actions have shamed us all, but they will not get away with it, I assure you. Minister Pentaro is looking into it personally. He has sent some ships to escort you back to New Kentar.
agenda will be destroyed!
You forced my hand. You and your pathetic Lucari bootlicker. It's time to end this. I will make New Kentar safe once more. Safe from you and the rest of the alien filth in the galaxy. Exile was too good for the Lucari. We should have wiped you out.
Not everyone in the Defense Force is loyal to Pentaro. Pentaro was a traditionalist for some time, but I thought he placed the people... I've suspected Pentaro was a traditionalist for some time, but I thought he placed the people before his personal beliefs. I was wrong. His madness nearly killed us all. And for what? Pride, hate, and fear. I wish to formally apologize and thank all of you in person. Under the circumstances, we should meet on one of your vessels. The Rescava, if you're agreeable.
This is a momentous occasion. I'm glad you're here to share it with us. Diplomacy's part of a captain's job, as you know. I hope I'm up for the challenge. Welcome to the Rescava, Prime Minister. I look forward to working together.
Thank you, Captain. Most kind of you after all that's happened. We almost lost everything today. Instead, we can begin to build a better future, thanks to you. There will be resistance from people like Pentaro, but we must continue to look ahead. To that end, we hope to work together with you and your allies.
I'm happy to hear it. Kentari and Lucari have lived apart far too long. We've recently begun to explore beyond our world. Perhaps we can do so together.
Perhaps, We've got a lot of work to do before then, however.
Indeed we do.
Well then, let's get started, shall we?